The views expressed on this program are not those of IntellectualRadio.com, its subsidiaries, or sponsors. Encouraging, educating, and empowering you into action. This is Warriors Talk with your host, Lady Rochelle.
Hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady Rochelle, where we move away from awareness towards action. It's Relationship Monday, and our topic for today is navigating relationships with a narcissist. We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from the Drive at 5 with Roman. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio and allow us to feed your brain. On the last episode of Warriors Talk, Rizal and I talked about living single while in a relationship. The quote of the day is, "Some relationships are like broken glass. It's better to leave them alone than to hurt yourself trying to put them back together." Here are your trending topics for today. Felony DUI charges were pending against a semi-driver who police said ran a red light and crashed into a bus driving 25 children to a hockey game. There were 23 children, 2 hockey coaches from Chicago St. Ignatius College Prep over the weekend in Indiana. The accident occurred around 8 p.m. Saturday in Warsaw, about 50 miles from South Bend, as the school juniors varsity's hockey team was headed to a hotel after competing in a tournament at Culver's Military Academy. 16 students was hurt. 3 of them were taken and were in critical condition. They were taken to Fort Lutheran Hospital in Indiana, and Sunday morning they were said to be stabilized. The students were returning from their dinner when the accident occurred. According to school officials, the bus driver was making a left on US 30 when the semi-driver ran the light and hit the rear of the bus, flipping it on its side. The semi-driver continued to drive west and was stopped less than a mile after driving into a ditch, police said. They detected a strong odor of alcohol coming from the person as well as the cabinet of the semi. The driver, 58-year-old from Brooklyn, New York, was held in custody, and he faces charges of driving while intoxicated and great bodily harm. The hockey director and varsity head coach, Spence Montgomery, thanked the police and the emergency crew who responded. They were timely, organized, and put the health of the boys to the forefront. Those are your trending topics for today. If you are tuned in on any form of social media, like the show, share the show, invite somebody else in on the show that may benefit from this valuable information. We are going to highlight our sponsor today, who is Pastor Michael Richardson from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ, who has a special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
We're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emmanuel Kojic at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emmanuel Kojic-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson. And we're from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
Grateful for my sponsor on today. They make it possible for me to go live week after week. Again, our topic for today is navigating relationships with a narcissist. I hope that you have already liked and shared the show. Hey, Lisa, thank you for tuning in today. It's going to be a great conversation talking about relationships and narcissists. So let's just get out the way really quickly what a narcissist is. And everybody who is breathing have encountered a narcissist. A narcissist is a person who has an excessive interest and admiration for themselves. And narcissism is extreme self-improvement to a degree that it makes a person ignore the needs of others around them. So how can you spot a narcissist? Hey, Red, thank you for tuning in today. So, how can you spot a narcissist? Well, a narcissist is someone who is arrogant. They take advantage of others to get what they want. They believe that they are unique and special, and people should give them things because they are special. They brag and exaggerate about any talents that they have, and they have this constant need for admiration. They feel like people envy them, they envy others, they lack empathy. They are obsessed with fantasies of them having power, being successful and brilliant. They have a sense of entitlement. We all can think about individuals that we know that we have encountered that may have these kind of characteristics. So these are the stages of a relationship with a narcissist. Number one, we probably all heard of this one, which is love bombing, which is known to um, glorify, and they shower you with just all these things when it comes to a relationship, like at the beginning of the relationship, whether it be them buying you flowers, them texting you every morning, little gifts out of nowhere, just making you feel really, really special and loved. And you're like, oh my God, I have never in my life had this type of feeling before. This person, this is just like overwhelming, but it's love. You feel like, wow, where has this person been all my life, right? They're bombing you. When you think about a bomb, it explodes, and that's how they treat you in the beginning. And it's not love, but it's called love bombing because the receiver feels like that. So stage 2 is the devalue. So once they have love bombed you and they have you on this high, you're on cloud 9. Then comes stage 2, which is the devalue stage. They start to belittle you and they lower your self-esteem. And now you like, what just happened? I thought they loved me. They was just treating me, like a queen. And all of a sudden they start saying these little comments to you and you just like, what? They'll say something like, mm, that dress ain't fitting you right, or you look like you put on a little weight, or yeah, that hairstyle is not you. Like they'll say little things to make you question yourself and lower your self-esteem, right? They're devaluing you. And the reason why they're devaluing you is because they're getting you to a stage to where they can control you. So stage 3 is once they love bomb you, devalue you, they get you to do whatever it is that they want you to do, right? At this point, they will have you doing stuff, whether it be spending money on them, being their chauffeur, every little thing that they could think of, waiting on them hand and feet, and then they're gonna discard you. So the stage 3 is once they are done with you, they're gonna discard you. But before they discard you, they're gonna look for a new supply. And the new supply, they may think the new supply is better than you, but it's not. It's just somebody that's fresh and that's new because they have already used you up. So now they're looking for somebody else that now, they're fresh. They have energy to do all of those things that they want them to do and get away with it. Because probably by now at this discarding stage, you have started to realize that, something's not right with this relationship, and maybe you're starting to talk back or you're starting to ask questions, and then they're like, okay, now you're not controllable anymore. Once they're not able to control you, then they're going to discard you. In between that discarding stage, in order to get you to comply, they may silence you or they may give you the silent treatment, right? So you may do something they don't like or say something they don't like. Then all of a sudden you don't hear from them for a couple of days or a week. And you're like, what's going on? Like, what did I do? And then when you talk to them, they just like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm breathing. Like, what's wrong? And you like, we haven't talked. And they like, okay, but we all right, like everything is okay. And to them it's just like, oh well, but it's their way of regaining control. So if you make them feel a certain way to where they feel like they have lost control, the silent treatment is a way for them to regain control over you, because now you're going to be seeking them, trying to figure out what's going on, why you're not talking to me, what did I do, And then now they got you. Now the control is back in their hands. All right. How to make the relationship work when control issues, Lisa. Exactly. Exactly. It's with a narcissist, it's all about control. If they have no control in the relationship, they're not in the relationship, right? They have to be the one that's in control. And if they're not going to be in that relationship. And that's with every aspect of the relationship, right? Every aspect of it. They're the ones who are the experts. Like you're supposed to come to them for everything. If you go to somebody else and ask their opinion and they know about it, oh, you're going to be on punishment. And you don't want that. So how do you make a relationship work with a narcissist? Because there are people who are married to narcissists. There are people who have been in long-term relationships with narcissists. So number one, in order to make that relationship work, you have to sacrifice. You are giving up a lot, right? This person is gaslighting you. They're blaming you for things and making you seem like you're crazy. And you're questioning yourself, like, what's wrong with me? And the people around you are looking at you like you're crazy. Like, girl, what is going on with you? Like, what is this person doing to you that, you're really not acting like yourself? And let me just say, men and women can both be narcissists, but the majority of narcissists are men. So how can you make this relationship work? Do you even want the relationship to work? So you're sacrificing everything about yourself when it comes to this relationship. You're not even functioning like yourself, right? Because you are chasing this high. You're chasing that high that you got when that person was love bombing you. You know how when somebody first get high off of drugs and they're constantly seeking that high that they got, and so they're using all types of drugs trying to get to that high, but they never do. So you're using all different types of methods to try to get back to this love bombing stage, but you never do, because it never really existed. It was just to get you entangled into this person's little web. And then once you're entangled into the little web, then they can treat you and pretty much control you how they want to. So number two on how to make a relationship work with a narcissist is be prepared to lose yourself. Be prepared to just give up anything about you, because the relationship is going to be about the other person. It's really nothing to do with you, nothing to do with satisfying you and catering to your happiness. Everything is going to be about this person. What can you do for this person? How can you satisfy this person? And if you're not doing things to satisfy this person, then guess what? They're going to discard you and get a new supply. And then, again, the new supply is not going to be somebody that's better. It's just going to be somebody who's fresh and is not wise to the tricks that they're playing. Number three, they will never trust you. The narcissists do not trust themselves. So they're not going to trust you. I don't care what you say. I don't care how loyal you are to the narcissist. They will never trust you. Although they will treat you like you're trusted, but you're never trusted. At the end of the day, they will question everything that you do, every motive that you have. You're going to always be on the defense with the narcissist. So you're probably saying, why am I staying in this relationship? Some people just learn how to deal with the narcissist. Sometimes you learn how to deal with them, or you've been dealing with them for so long that you just get used to the cycle. So number four, how to make a relationship work with a narcissist is that you have to constantly feed that ego. You are constantly telling this person how good they are, how brilliant they are, how handsome they are. Like everything they do, you're just constantly feeding their ego. This is what they thrive off of. If you're not doing this, they're going to feel like, okay, they're going to feel like they're doing something wrong, that you're not praising them. And the narcissist could do no wrong, right? They're to them, in their world, they're perfect. So you have to be prepared to just, and not that you, uh, Red said that's too much work, laugh out loud. It's a lot of work. It really is it's a lot of work to deal with a narcissist, When you come out of that relationship, trust me, you're gonna feel so drained. You're gonna feel drained while you're in a relationship. It's gonna take so much out of you to just keep dealing with this person. And some people just get stuck in that cycle of dealing with this person. So they just keep doing it because it's familiar. So just be prepared to always feed their ego. I don't care what it is that they're doing. You just gotta be, and most of the time it's not going to be something honest, right? It's just that you're going to be saying it just so they can, they feel a certain way. Because if you're feeding their ego, then at those times they'll treat you good, right? Because they feel like, oh, okay, maybe I'll take her to dinner tonight, maybe I'll do this for her tonight, because you done blew their head up, right? Knowing that they are none of those things. Number 5, avoid public humiliation. You better not do anything, you hear me, to make this person feel embarrassed in public. If y'all having a conversation and if they saying something that's incorrect and you know it's incorrect, do not correct them. Don't even correct them when you get home. Because they're always right, and they're going to take it as they're going to be on a defense. They're going to take it like you attacking them, right? And you're making, especially if you do it in front of people, when they think that they're the bigger man, they the top man on the totem pole. So if they're a woman or the man, correcting them, and it makes them look stupid in front of other people. Ooh, when you get home, I don't even know, you might as well just not go home, because this person is going to treat you like a dog. You're going to be treated like a dog. Like a narcissist they just have no filter. They will say to you whatever it is that they're feeling, especially if they know that it's going to hurt your feelings. They're not going to sugarcoat it in any kind of way, because they really don't care. It's all about them, how they feel, what makes them feel good. So if making them feel good makes you feel bad, then guess what? They're going to do that. Number 6, you have to understand the cycle of abuse, right? So in order for you to stay in this relationship, you got to know what that cycle of abuse is, so that when you're going through that cycle, you know that the end is near, right? The end is coming, and you know that sooner or later you're going to be back up on that roller coaster. Being in a relationship with a narcissist is like being on a roller coaster. You go up on the roller coaster, you don't know when the dips and the turns are going to come, but you know they're coming, right? So you have to prepare yourself. So just imagine being on a roller coaster and preparing yourself, preparing your stomach, you bracing yourself for these turns and these dips. And you're like this, on edge, on eggshells, all the time with a narcissist through this relationship. That's how you feel all the time. You're tiptoeing around what you say, right? You're tiptoeing around how you act. You tiptoeing around what you wear. Even the people you hang around, like, they control all of it. And you just have to make sure, if you want to be in this relationship, that you understand the cycle of abuse. So the first cycle is they feel threatened, right? They feel threatened by you. And so when they feel threatened by you, they're going to make you feel a certain way, right? Either it could be violent, right? It could be verbal. It could be financial abuse. They're going to find some type of way to threaten you to take away whatever it is that they're providing for you. They're going to work to take that away from you. The second cycle is they thrive on abusing other people. For some reason, they don't feel like it's abuse though, right? Why they feel that way? Because a narcissist feel like they can do no wrong. So they're not going to feel like they're doing anything wrong when they are abusing you. The third cycle is now they are the victim. So now they done turned around whatever it was that you did or you said, they're going to turn it around on them. And now they are the victim in this situation. And so now here you are apologizing for something you didn't even do. And it wasn't even your fault. But guess what? A narcissist never say they're sorry. They're not going to say that they are sorry to you. So if they do something, they're probably going to look at you and be like, you'll be all right. But they're not going to say, I was wrong and I apologize for my part in this. They're just going to say, well, you shouldn't have done what you did, and then I wouldn't have reacted the way that I did. That's their way of saying that they're sorry to you. Number 4, the cycle number 4 is feeling empowered. Now that they have become the victim and turned it around on you, now the power is back in their hands, right? It's all about power with them. It's all about control with them. How can I get this person to do any and everything that I want them to do? And then when you don't, if they have you doing stuff and for some reason you can't because you have to maybe go to work, or you have an engagement to spend time with your family, you have a family reunion going on, but he wants you to stay there, he or she, because it could be both, wants you to stay and do something with them, or it could be something really little, and you decide to go to the reunion or go spend time with your family. It's going to be hell to raise when you come back in the house. You may get the silent treatment for a whole week. They maybe even ghost you. They may leave the place and come back a couple of days later. And you get used to these cycles, right? So you get used to, okay, he's going to be gone for like 3 or 4 days and then he'll be back. Okay, things will be quiet. Okay, he's upset right now. He's, calling me all of these names and treating me like crap. But then, they'll have this, like every abuser have this little honeymoon stage to where they are saying they're sorry, but they won't say that they're sorry. But he may buy you something that you like. So, it may be something that you like, and they may buy it for you and give it to you. So it's their way of saying they're sorry, but the words are not going to come out of their mouth. So number 7, you need to have a counselor on standby, right? In order for you to stay in this relationship, you got to be able to go to somebody and say, hey, I need to talk because I think I'm losing my mind, right? You're going to feel like you're losing your mind because they're going to, again, turn around everything that you say, everything that you catch them up in, they're going to turn it around on you. You're going to feel like you're losing your mind. You're going to feel so drained dealing with a narcissist to where you feel like the only way out of this relationship is death. The only way for me to leave this relationship is if I were to die. Because some people don't have the strength. They don't have the balls to leave. Because the narcissist is going to make you feel so bad. And don't you dare leave and go back. If you are able to get out of that narcissistic relationship, don't you dare go back, because that person, he or she, is going to treat you worse than you did when you was in that relationship. So if you get out, then don't go back. Lisa said, just a trick of the enemy. Don't fall for the okie doke. I'm telling you, it's so sad because they'll have you questioning yourself, and then the people around you will be looking at you like, girl, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you allowing this person to treat you this way? Why are you acting this way? And you'll find yourself like a lot of people do with abusers. You make excuses for this person's behavior because you ashamed because, for number one, you with this person and you chose this person. So you don't want people looking at you like, what's wrong with her? Something not right with you. So you're going to cover up for this person. Oh, girl, he just acting like he not really like it. That's not how he act at home. I don't know why he doing. He just showing out. This is him for real. This is him for real. So you have to have a counselor on standby so that you can, if you decide to stay in this relationship, then you need to have a counselor on standby in order to keep you sane. If not, you are going to go crazy. Go back to when I said you're going to lose yourself. You're going to lose yourself in this relationship. Everything that you're doing is going to be to please this person. And the minute you decide, oh, I'm going to do some things for myself, I'm going to, take some time for myself, oh, they're going to have a fit. No, you're not. This is because it's not about you. This is about me. I can remember I was in a narcissistic relationship for 5 years, right? And I didn't know that it was until I got out of it. I just knew that something was not right with the relationship. I'm just like, this is not a normal relationship. Like, this is, I've been in relationships before, and yeah, every relationship is different, but it was just something about this relationship that I knew was not right. And I just couldn't quite put my finger on it until I was out of the relationship. And I don't know how I stumbled on, learning about a narcissist. And then I was like, oh my goodness, that's what I was with. I was with a narcissist. And to this day, oh my goodness. Yeah. So that's number 7. Those are the 7 things. If you decide that you're going to stay in this relationship with this narcissist, then just know that you're going to lose yourself in this relationship. You're not going to be your normal self, right? You have to learn how to deal with whatever it is that they're going to throw your way. You have to be prepared to deal with that. Be prepared to not be trusted. Be prepared to sacrifice yourself, right? Boosting this person's ego when they are not going to boost yours. They're not gonna give you those same compliments that you're giving them. They're not gonna do it. They have a funny way of doing it. So I remember I went and got my hair done, and it was like all curly. And so the guy he didn't say anything to me when we was together. He calls me on the phone and he goes, "Oh yeah, um did I tell you your hair looked nice?" I was like, "No, you didn't." He was like, "Yeah." So that was his way of saying, "I like your hair. It looks nice." Instead of just coming out saying, "Hey, your hair looks nice." Because they're the ones that want the compliments. They're the ones that want to be, receive all the admirations. It's not about you. It's definitely not about you. So I want to take an opportunity really quick, you guys, to highlight my sponsor, my second sponsor, which is Allstate with Paula Kelly. And she's located at 327 East Glenwood Lansing Road in Glenwood, Illinois. And she can be reached at 708-758-3300. You can contact her. She's an agency with integrity. Please let her know that Warriors Talk sent you. It's important. Red says, why would you want to live a miserable life? That's a great question. Again, people, you get so used to this person, right? And you keep going back to the love bombing stage. When they do the love bombing is it's explosive, right? They're doing everything right. Any and everything that you can think of, this person is doing it, whether it be again buying you flowers, taking you out on a date every week, calling you every morning, sending you a good morning text, you know. And at that time, they may be complimenting you. Oh, you look nice. Oh, you're sexy. Oh, you're smart. Oh, so at that time, they may be telling you all of that stuff. But once they get past that love bombing stage, you're not going to hear it again. So that person that stays in a relationship is constantly looking for that because they say, oh, I know they got it in them because they did it before. They treated me good before. They said it before. So I know it's there. So you're constantly looking for it and you're constantly trying to create scenarios to pull it out of this person. And it doesn't exist because it was an act just to wire you in, to get you in there. And now they have you in there. They don't have to do that. Why? Why do they have to keep wasting their energy on you when they want the energy to be on them? It's all about them at this point. And so that person that decides to stay in a relationship is just hoping that one day that this person will act like they did in the beginning of the relationship. Again, remember I said it's like a personal drugs. You're constantly chasing that high that does not exist. It doesn't exist. So how do you handle a narcissist, right? If you're going to stay in this relationship, and it's not just love relationships, it could be a narcissist, it could be a parent, it could be a sibling, it could be a boss, it could be a friend. So it's not just, it doesn't just exist in like a romantic relationship, but they exist in all type of relationships. So how do you handle a narcissist? You educate yourself. Educate yourself about this person, about narcissism, right? Educate yourself, look at YouTube videos, read a book. It's so much information out here when you figure out that that's what it is, right? Even if you start typing in the behaviors of this person, right? Just typing them in, you know, this person behaves like this in a relationship, and then you type all of the behaviors. It just may bring up narcissist, right? It just may bring it up. So a narcissist, they are who they are. They're not trying to change their stripes for anybody. If you don't want them, they will just go get a new supply. That they just go get a new supply. I can remember when my person went and got the new supply. I didn't realize it at the time, right? And again, they will not discard you until they have the new supply in place. So they're going to have the new supply in place first, and then they're going to discard you. So I can remember being at an event and the new supply was there. And he ended up introducing the new supply to everybody. It was like an event. And this person, got to say something. And my girlfriends was looking at me like, do you not see any of this? Like, really? And at the time I was like, what is this? Like, why is he bringing this girl here? This is our spot. Like, what's going on? But he was introducing the new supply. And sometimes they do it to see if you're going to comply. Sometimes they'll introduce the new supply so they can have more than one supply, right? And so depending on if you're accepting of the new supply, you embrace it, then they may keep both of y'all around, right? And so now they're not hiding it because you know the new supply. They done already introduced you to the new supply. So you have to educate yourself on this particular person and the behaviors that's happening. Red says, I read about them, but I didn't read or how to fix them. All right. So that's what we're talking about it today. So how do you handle a narcissist? Again, number one, educate yourself on who they are. Watch the behaviors, and then go to YouTube and start, watching videos on narcissists and how to deal with narcissists, how to heal from narcissists, how to get out of a relationship if that's what you want to do. Some people have kids by narcissists, and that's the worst thing that you want. But some people have kids by narcissists, and you have to deal with this person for the rest of your life. So you can't really get rid of them. And then you hoping that whatever it is don't rub off on your kids. So the first thing you do is educate yourself about who they are. And if you feel like they are a narcissist or you're not sure what type of behavior this is, just start typing the stuff in on Google, and trust me, something will come up. Number two, how do you handle a narcissist? You have to create boundaries. You have to, and it's going to be so hard. This is probably one of the hardest things to do other than leaving, is to create boundaries, because they don't care anything about your boundaries. They will step all over your boundaries. You can tell them, hey, don't call me after 9:00 because I'm going to be sleeping. I got to be at work early in the morning. Sure enough, they probably show up at your house at that time, talking about they want to go somewhere. They got something for you to do. They want to talk. And you just like, I just told this person. So they're going to walk all over your boundaries. So you have to make sure that when you create the boundaries, you have to make sure that they stick to them. And they're going to feel like these boundaries are an attack against them. They're going to feel like they're putting these boundaries in place because, it's an attack. They're defensive. And again, they're going to try to walk all over the boundaries, but you have to stick to your guns. And it's going to be hard. The second one is, how do you handle a narcissist? Speak up for yourself, right? Speak up for yourself. If it's something you don't like, something that's going on, if they did something, then you have to address it, right? Address it with that person. Speak up for yourself. Do it in a calm way, not in an attacking way, not around other people. Sometimes you have to catch them in a good mood, right? When something great is happening and they're excited, and then that's the point to be like, hey, and then you try to get it in there, right? Not to bring down the mood, but to kind of catch them, when their guards are kind of down a little bit, to where they're gonna say, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. But you have to speak up for yourself and do it loudly, but not loudly in tone. So you have to watch your tone. Number 4, how do you handle a narcissist? Watch your words. You have to watch what you say. It's almost like you have this little 3-year-old person, and you have to be careful with your words because you don't want to upset them. You don't want them to cry. It's like that. It's like almost like a baby, like you're babying them. So you have to watch what you say to them. Remember, they want you to feed their ego. So they don't want you to try to tear down their self-esteem, because that's what they do to you. So how dare you try to do this to me? So you have to watch your words when it comes to a narcissist. Watch what you say, because they're going to take those words that you say to them and they're going to turn them around and use them on you. Number 5, stay calm. Why? Because a narcissist is full of drama. Every day is drama for them, and they want to see you upset. They purposely say and do things to make you fly off the handle, so people could look at you like you crazy. And then people say, oh no, she's the crazy one. And that person's going to sit back and be looking so calm, and then you going to be just going real crazy. And then people are like, oh, well, maybe it's that person and not the narcissist. So you know how you see this mask that has the 2 faces? That's how the narcissist is. At home, they're one way. And in public, people like, oh, this is the best person. They're awesome. They're great. They're so nice and sweet. And you like, who are they talking about? Because that's not that person. And you get home, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, totally different person. Totally different person. Number 6, you need a support system around you. Again, this is to help, so to give you time away from the narcissist, which the narcissist is not going to like. They're not going to like you spending time with anybody else. Why? Because that other person can get inside your head and make you see that the narcissist is not right. So you have to make sure that you create a support system around you that's going to help keep you sane, help keep you uplifted, help keep your self-esteem intact, help you stay true to yourself. You need this person or people around you. Get some people that you trust, some people that's not going to betray you and go and tell this person the things that you're saying, or go off on this person in public and tell them what you've been saying. So you have to make sure that you get some secure people around you that's going to be able to support you. And then number 7, I already said this already, is you need to get a counselor. Bring a counselor in on the conversation with you and the narcissist. But good luck, because a narcissist don't feel like nothing's wrong with them. So 9 times out of 10, they're not going to go see a counselor. They're not, because they feel like there's nothing wrong with me. I'm perfect. So why do I need to go and hear somebody else say that something's wrong with me? Then that means that counselor is the superior over that narcissist. Nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. So here's what you don't say, right? This is what you don't say and what you don't do to a narcissist. The narcissist, they lack empathy, right? So they're not going to be empathetic on anything that you say, anything that you do, whatever it is. They're going to chuck it off like, okay. If you tell them, oh, my dad just died, they're going to be like, all right, everybody died. Everybody got to die. Like, you going to be all right. They're not going to sit there and be like, oh, babe, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry this happened to you, right? They're not going to do that. Don't argue with them. Again, don't confront them. Do not do it. Don't try to direct them in any type of way. Why? Because they are the person that is supposed to be the superior. They're supposed to be better than anybody else. So they don't need you directing them, giving them advice, anything. And don't expect them to see your point of view, because your point of view to them means nothing. You can talk to them about something and pour your heart out, and they're not going to hear anything that you say. It's going to go in one ear and go out the other. And you could ask them, hey, remember I told you about that time when I had to go to the doctor to do this and that? They could be like, what? I don't remember that. Why? Because it's all about them and it's not about you. Don't expect to have any meaningful conversations with a narcissist, because they don't care about you and what's going on in your world. Now, when you was going through that love bombing phase, they were all over you. Everything was everything, right? Not anymore. Don't you dare bring up no old issues, right? Don't do it. Don't bring up nothing in the past. Again, they're going to feel like they're being attacked. Don't do it. Don't bring up anything, any fights that you had in the past, and you try to bring that. Remember that time that you're asking for a fight. Don't do it. I hope that you guys have learned something from this conversation today. Again, we're talking about navigating a relationship with a narcissist, which is not an easy thing to do, but it's possible if you just have to be in that relationship. So I'm gonna talk about my closing sponsor, which is Gloria Dawson with Mary Kay, and she is catering to all of your beauty needs from head to toe. You can go to marykay.com/GDOTSON for some exciting new products. Coming up next at 7 p.m. is The People Show with Mark Wallace and Charles Thomas. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Join me next Monday right here on Intellectual Radio at 6 p.m. I will leave you with these words of wisdom. Letting go of toxic people in your life is a big step in loving yourself. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady Rochelle, where we are changing lives one warrior at a time.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady Rochelle. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady Rochelle on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on IntellectualRadio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady Rochelle, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.